Hey guys, what's going on? It's MassiveJoes RAW review, and I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com. Awesome RAW review for the viewers at home today on an all-new pill to powdered form supplement specifically for the Australian consumers, for the Australian marketplace, for the Australian viewers at home. It is, of course, ProSupps Crash in the house. Let's get straight into it, show you guys exactly what's in it, tell you exactly what it's going to do. That nutritional information panel ain't going to get it done. We about to go balls deep in this ProSupps Crash. Luckily, got ourselves one of these big ass nutritional information panels for the viewers at home, so you guys can play along if you'd like to. Actually, before I get into it, let me just firstly say the type of product we're dealing with here. It says it right here on the label, ProSupps Crash. It's a nighttime sleep formula. So it's designed to help you rest at night. There's nothing on there that makes claims about boosting up growth hormone or boosting up amount of rapid eye movement, sleep as such. It is just a relaxation supplement designed to help you sleep. On the label it says nighttime formula. Let's get to it. In terms of what's actually in it, serving size 1 scoop, 3.9 grams. Got yourself 30 of them bitches in one of these bitches. You're taking 1 scoop per day. It's a month's supply, 30-day supply. In terms of the 3.9 grams, what it's actually made up of, if you go through and add up all of the active ingredients in this here ProSupps Crash, you'll see that it comes to a total of 733 milligrams of active ingredients, which means you're getting about 81% artificial colors, flavors, and fillers, which becomes particularly obvious when you start to move down the nutritional information panel. You see there's 2 grams of carbohydrates, mainly coming from maltodextrin. There's 1 gram of dietary fiber, mainly coming from the soluble corn fiber. The issue is, with something that has such a small amount of active ingredients, 733 milligrams, in the US, you got to remember, in the US, this is a capsule form product. So to fit 733 milligrams into capsules is no issue. If you take the same 733 and you put it in powdered form, first of all, how do you measure out that dose so that people aren't overdosing on it? Secondly, you have to do something to give it some substance, to give it some flavor and some color as well. That's why ProSupps have had no choice but to go that plus 81% artificial colors, flavors, and fillers. That being said, it's only 3.9 grams, viewers at home. So don't get your panties in a knot about taking in the artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, and fillers in this bitch. It's only 3.9 grams. Let's get into it. In terms of what the 733 milligrams is made up of, starting from the top, magnesium 7 grams, zinc sulfate 66 grams, down the bottom, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, aka P5P, aka the active version of vitamin B6. That right there, viewers at home, is your zinc, magnesium, vitamin B6, aka ZMA blend. So it does contain a ZMA blend. The only issue with it is quite underdosed. Those of you that take zinc or a ZMA blend by itself would know that the clinical dose of zinc is much higher than 66 milligrams. Clinical dose of magnesium is much higher than 7, and clinical dose of vitamin B6 is sure as hell much higher than 1 milligram. Moving right along, you've then got phenobut hydrochloride, 300 milligrams. For those of you that are unaware, phenobut is a derivative of GABA, which increases the amount of dopamine in the brain, which in turn increases GH release, which in turn increases relaxation. The only issue is the clinical dose is 250 to 1500 milligrams. So to say this phenobut in this crash is, let's go with almost clinically dosed. It is towards the lower end of that clinical dose, but almost clinically dosed. Those of you that have taken phenobut in the past to help you sleep would know the shit is damn effective, man. Even in the 300 milligram dose, damn effective. Moving right along. You've then got your L-tryptophan in the house, an essential, let me try again. L-tryptophan in the house. That's better. A lot of ingredients to get through. I'm trying not to speed through them, but I can't forget my shtick. Shit. L-tryptophan, an essential amino acids precursor to serotonin, which in turn converts to melatonin, which is the hormone that puts us to sleep. Clinical dose is 1,000 milligrams. In the ProSupps Crash, you're getting 100. It's about 10 times underdose. Then move on to L-carnitine L-tartrate, aka LCLT. Clinical dose is about 3,000 milligrams. There's 100 milligrams per serve in the ProSupps Crash, quite severely underdosed. Moving on to the valerian root extract, 50 milligrams, a very strong sedative. The only issue is to get very strong sedative results from it by itself, you need 500 to 1,000 milligrams. In the ProSupps Crash, you're getting 50 milligrams, once again, quite severely underdosed. Ashwagandha root extract, 50 milligrams, been shown to reduce anxiety and therefore improve relaxation. You need 600 to 1,000 milligrams. In the ProSupps Crash, you're getting 50 milligrams, once again, severely underdosed. Passion flower extract, you got 30 milligrams of very strong sedative. The only issue is to get the sedative properties, you need about 90 milligrams. In the ProSupps Crash, you're getting 30 milligrams, once again, underdosed. Woo! I'm gonna need to take a break from the underdosing to move on in this bitch. Moving right along. Evodiamine, a stimulant, generally when it's taken in a 1.5 to 5 gram serve, usually classed as a stimulant. I dug a little bit deeper to find out what the it was doing in this ProSupps Crash, which is a nighttime formula. Why the hell are you gonna put stimulants in a nighttime formula, man? But I dug a little bit deeper and I found that in small doses, it actually increases serotonin transporters and therefore serotonin uptake. So when you combine it with L-tryptophan, it actually helps with the release of serotonin and the conversion to melatonin, which helps you sleep. How's that for a knowledge bomb, viewers at home? Moving right along, I'm sure f***ing up this nutritional information panel, aren't I? Moving right along, alpha GPC delivers choline directly to the brain, rapidly to the brain as acetylcholine across the blood-brain barrier, of course. The only issue with it is you need 300 to 1,200 milligrams daily. You're getting 5 milligrams in the ProSupps Crash, underdosed. Then you've got phosphatidylserine. Blunts cortisol. The only issue is you need about 300 milligrams a day to get that effect. You've only got 4 milligrams in the ProSupps Crash. The active form of vitamin B6, the pyridoxal 5-phosphate we've been through, 81% artificial colors, artificial flavors, and that's what's in it. Common theme with this here ProSupps Crash nighttime formula is pretty much everything in it, if you were to consider them as ingredients in their own right, are quite severely underdosed in the ProSupps Crash. I will tell you about how they work in conjunction with each other when we get to the effects, but before that, in terms of how it tastes, how it mixes, comes in 2 flavors. Comes in fruit punch, comes in my personal favorite, the blue raspberry. Got the infamous MassiveJoes mixability test in the house. Gonna take myself one 3.9 gram scoop of the ProSupps Crash. You can check this out, viewers at home. I'm gonna take myself 1 scoop of that there, throw it in my glass of water, and let it rain, let it rain. A few flicks of the wrist, man. I'm gonna show you guys how it mixes, and then I'm gonna give myself just a little taste. I'm gonna put myself to sleep in this raw review. Just a little taste to refresh my memory on how it tastes. So check that out. You can see there, viewers at home, few flicks of the wrist, it's mixed pretty well. There's not a lot of actives in there, so you would be surprised if it didn't. That being said, I would go so far as to say blender bowl is not required for this here ProSupps Crash nighttime formula. Let me refresh my memory on how the blue raspberry tastes, man. They've done it again. My boys at ProSupps have come through the goods when it comes to the flavors, man. The one thing is it sure as hell don't look like blue raspberry. Looks more like green raspberry, but it does taste very nice. It's a real nice sweet, not overly sweet, but just a real pleasant tasting formula in terms of the effects. Because that's what you're taking this ProSupps Crash for, man. You don't give a underdose. You don't give a shit if it tastes good and mixes well. You're taking it because you're trying to get yourself some Z's. Let me tell you guys about my experience with the ProSupps Crash. I've taken it 2 times so far. Usually for raw reviews, I take a supplement once and then drop the raw review, but I needed to do it 2 times just to make sure the first time wasn't a mistake. First time I took this ProSupps Crash, mixed myself 1 scoop in a glass of water. And I got to admit, I was pretty tired at the time. It was a Saturday night. It was about 1 a.m. I just trained. I flew that night into Melbourne. I went and trained some shoulders at Doldy's gym at Brunswick, man. Finished the workout about midnight. I was pretty damn tired. Threw myself 1 scoop of ProSupps Crash. Drank that bitch. And the best way I can describe the experience I had on the ProSupps Crash, viewers at home, is I felt like I had been fucking shot in the ass with a bear tranquilizer. It felt to me, honestly, that I had taken, I drank the glass. It felt like I had finished drinking. As I'd finished drinking the glass, imagine me drinking the glass, put the glass down, the glass hit the table. Next minute, big hose was straight asleep. Next minute, straight back up awake, man. It was very, the best way I can describe it is for those of you that have ever been under a general anesthetic, and when you have the general anesthetic and the doctors tell you to count backwards and shit, and the next thing you know, you just wake up straight away, and you sometimes you will dream a little bit, but it's just like boom, asleep, boom, awake. That was my first experience on the ProSupps Crash. That's why I had to take it again, because I wasn't sure if it was because I was tired that it had that effect of literally just knocking me out, putting me to sleep. So I took it again. I took it again last night. And last night I was not tired. I was feeling quite good. I took it early. I took it about 11:30, which for me during the week is quite early to get to bed. I wasn't tired. I took the ProSupps Crash. Finished drinking the ProSupps Crash. Glass went down on the bench top. Next minute, big hose asleep. Next minute, big hose away. It was exactly the same effect, man. And it was like I had been lined up by someone with one of them big ass rifles and they shot a tranquilizer into my ass, and next minute I woke up the next morning. It is quite remarkable. It's a quite remarkable supplement, especially based on what we just went through with the nutritional information panel. As you see, everything in there in its own right, except for perhaps the phenibut, is about 10 times underdosed. The only explanation I have, viewers at home, for why it works and why it works so effectively and why it literally puts you to sleep. You can literally not be tired and it will just knock you out and put you to sleep. It's like being shot with a tranquilizer. I think why it has that effect is because even though everything in there is underdosed in its own right, when you put all of the ingredients together, and there are a lot of active ingredients in there, viewers at home, it took us damn near 10 minutes to get through them all. You put them all together, even though they are underdosed, they work synergistically with each other to have that sedative, tranquilizing, relaxing effect. That's pretty much the only explanation I come up with. The couple of things I have to say is you do wake up in the morning quite groggy from it. It doesn't last long, but you know, the first, say, half hour when you wake up in the morning, you do feel a little bit groggy. It is a kind of supplement that is gonna make you wanna reach for the snooze button. So if you've got something important to do the next morning, or you know you're not gonna be able to get a good block of sleep, say like 6, 7, or 8 hours sleep, however you usually sleep for, I recommend not taking the ProSupps Crash, because I can pretty much guarantee you, firstly, you either won't get up, or secondly, you get up and you look like shit for your important meeting the next morning. But if you do want just a good night's sleep, and you just want to be knocked out, you just want to be sedated to the point where you just sleep solid, man. It feels like you've been tranquilized, you've been put under that there general anesthetic. I gotta say, viewers at home, that their ProSupps Crash is probably, the ProSupps Crash has got to be ticket, man. Couple of things I gotta add before I wrap up. The last thing, the value for money on it compared to what we're seeing in the Australian market per serve for a sleep formula. Granted, it's not a complete sleep formula. It's not going to do much for increasing GH production, not going to do much for increasing REM sleep, but just as a sedative sleep formula, it is by far, when you talk per serve, the best value for money on the Australian market by just a damn near country mile, man. The last thing I gotta add, and this is weird as shit, but I have to add it, and I don't know what it means, but the 2 times I have taken the ProSupps Crash, I have had very short dreams. They haven't been vivid, but I've woken up the next morning and figured that that was what I dreamt about. The 2 times that I took it, I actually dreamt that I met Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know what that means, but it's all good. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, man. Stay up to date with all the latest editions of MassiveJoes RAW Review. And guys, that is MassiveJoes RAW Review on the all-new ProSupps Crash. There it is. There it is. In the house! And I'm coming to you from MassiveJoes.com.